bins.
Hello and welcome to Epic Interactions, where a couple guys, couple dudes get together, play some Dungeons and Dragons, drink some coffee, trying to stay alive. As you can see, my lovely wife is not here today. She's working. Hold on, let me fix this camera.
Do you even play a trailer?
I did play a trailer.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know.
Yes. Where was I? So welcome. Some announcements. So we're missing a couple people today. Rahun is sick, so he will not be joining us. But okay, what's that, man? Don't eat soup and then pass out on us again. For those that are blood.
I've done that.
Mystic, what's up, girly? How are you? Anyway, welcome. Some announcements. Make sure you're checking out Sunshine Games if you live in the Tampa area, as well as Nerd Brew on Discord. Both really good places to just have a community, just to be able to go play board games, Magic the Gathering, card games, D&D, things of that nature. So definitely check those out. We will be here next week. So we should have everybody here. So today should be fairly fun, or at least I'd like to think it'd be fun. But let's see, without further ado, this setup may be just temporary, but you can see, you'll also notice that Baltimore is going to look like a ghost.
I finally lost weight.
He decided that he was gonna wear teal with his green screen behind him. So
I forgot.
good stuff. Good stuff.
It's been a long day.
Anywho, let's see. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure that you got anything pretty much up that will show views. Only because the higher the view count, the higher in priority we go, which will be awesome. And you'll also see in the top right-hand corner, just trying to hit a goal. Once we hit that goal, we will be looking at not only giving half of that to a military vet, but also being able to update the stream in some way, shape, or form. Also, Blood Ripper, I believe I called FedEx and everything should be fixed on that. So you should be either getting it today or tomorrow. And then as for Connor, if you're in the chat as well, Connor, I have your information now, so I will be sending out the little minis. Oh, he got them at. Okay, cool. You'll be getting those minis sent out to you shortly. So just got it today, but we'll make sure that we'll get it out. So, anywho, moving forward. Last week, our heroes took on Boshpa, demigod of chaos, who they found out was Emerald's sister, or actually not Emerald, sorry, Zion's sister. One of which that Emerald, or Zion being gone, took back the tree, so to speak, in his place, and without an opposite pull, I guess you could say, the yin to the yang, her bacteria was just going throughout the forest and infesting all of it. So anyway, you guys defeated Boshpa, or defeated her and then allowed her to live in the temple, or the little area that you guys came through, as a trap, and you told her to stay there and not come out until she is needed. But as you guys tree walked, or Gaia opened up her tree as you guys were able to tree walk through, to go to the tree ants area, where the elder trees are there. You notice that it is nighttime. As you guys come through, we're gonna go ahead and pick it up there. We'll get everybody here. As you guys walk through the tree and you come into the opening, for a second everything looks almost like that twilight darkness. As you notice, the first thing you notice is you hear the birds. You hear the rustling of the trees. You hear life within this forest again. Are you having fun? Are you looking at yourself?
He's looking at himself.
So,
we're listening. The life has come back.
Life has come back. And then a split second later, you hear just massive... Charge it, been open the gateway! As you see trees of the tree ants waiting for the signal to go in to help you in that fight. See the opening as they are charging toward this opening that you have at in the Grand Elder Tree.
So I'm going to...
You're the last one out, though.
Am I really?
Yeah, you stayed back to talk to your wife.
Oh, that's right.
Hold. It's all done. We completed it. Here's Little Leaf as I'm still helping. You're helping
leg. Little Leaf as he's coming through.
Yeah. Yes.
And you see. You see as everybody kind of stops and they're all kind of dumbfounded, but they are looking at you, waiting, because they see Little Leaf as he's coming through. You weren't that far behind, so you'll be coming through.
I would make my way with my quarterstaff. And say, yes, Bashfa has been defeated, in a sense. She will no longer be bringing chaos amongst these trees and this forest.
So after a little bit, you see as Grandheart kind of comes from like the mid area, and he kind of comes to the front and he looks at you and goes, Emerald, explain yourself.
Yes. We entered Bashfa's gauntlet, per se. We came up across 3 trials.
Both of you make perception checks, which you guys probably will see it. But there's a weird audio bug. Okay, hit me. What is it?
It's staticky.
It's staticky.
Yeah, because I'm getting it too.
Across 3 trials.
Both of you make perception checks.
Because these two are so close together?
Maybe there's a weird audio bug. Okay, hit me. What is it?
It's staticky.
It's staticky.
Yeah, because I'm getting it too.
Across 3 trials.
Maybe there's a weird audio bug. Okay, hit me.
It seems to have went away.
Oh, okay. It was. I just reconnected some of this. Okay. Well, you guys also separated it too. Keep it separated.
No, that was when you unplugged.
Well, now it's gonna get the feedback because it's hearing all the things.
Yeah.
So just mute it. I just reconnected. We're gonna have to give it a second because if not, it's just gonna keep going. Yep. It's just gonna keep recreating itself.
But also,
Thank you.
I'm walking him over. While he's talking, I'm still just helping Little Leaf over to his father.
You see as like one of the branches from the elder tree kind of comes down, and it's just a massive branch, and he's like, "Come, child." As you see as it kind of wraps around the Little Leaf, and then it kind of like releases the pressure off of you almost immediately. You get the feeling you can kind of let it go if you wanted to.
Okay.
So we came across 3 trials. We beat those trials to gain amulets for our quest.
Your perception check?
Oh yeah. Thanks.
32.
32?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So you guys both see as Cass and her panther. It's more the panther at first, where you see as the panther is almost panicking. Almost has like slow anxiety of like being in this area, and then you see as it kind of poofs, as like you see as Cass is looking at the panther, she's like nodding, she's like trying to give signals, and then you see as Cass kind of touches her panther as they both
disappear.
A little puff.
So I keep going. And I say, yes, we came across these trials. We were given amulets to help us in our fight against Bashfa. And we ultimately came into the open center area of the trees. And we found the source of the black ooze and everything, and spoke with Bashfa. And to my recollection and memory, I have forgotten that Bashfa, as she says, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, was and is my sister. And I'm like gonna look to see if they like give a reaction at all.
You see as the major tree ants that are in front of you, they all kind of seem appalled, kind of like taken aback. You see his Grandheart just kind of looks at you like, you already knew this, like you know.
Grandheart is okay. Remind me who Grandheart is. He's
Your friend.
the friend that I grew up with, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I couldn't. I couldn't remember if that was the two old treants. I forget their names. Okay. So
I mean, if you look back at the two older ones, you see as they're just like,
really. Oh. Okay. All right. So I continue to Grandheart. I tell him, yeah, I after I became mortal, all of that was gone. I don't remember who was my kin and relations and whatnot. But we fought, we battled, and we were very, very close to killing Vashva as a whole. But she admitted that she had information on a greater threat to this land and to our realm. Trixie, the Helix. Vashva said that she had information on the Helix, and if we were to spare her life, that she would come to our aid in the future, and that she would also agree to remain in the tomb underneath our tree. Gaia has also returned in form to this tree, and has promised her allegiance and protection over this forest, and would alert me if Vashva were to resurface and begin creating the chaos again that she did.
So Grandheart takes a minute. He kind of looks at some of the other treants, and in Sylvan he says something, and then you see as all the trees start to just turn around and start walking as they begin to leave. Just then Grandheart kind of looks at you and he goes, well, this is, well, I mean, the forest has been restored from what we can gather. You guys feel free to rest. I see that your party has taken some losses.
Yes. Yes, and I begin to look around, and I remember that Cass is gone. And I also look for Rahun. And I'm assuming I don't see him. We were once
Six? Many.
5, many.
And slowly we dwindle.
Correct.
But as time progresses, though our numbers dwindle, our strength still stands firm.
And I look at Grandheart and I'm like, whoa. Yes.
Very well.
We definitely need rest.
We have been up for quite some time waiting for the moment of opportunity, but as you have so nicely put it, there is no need for it.
The threat has subsided.
Well, there is still potential need, but maybe not to the severity of what was previously thought.
Well, definitely the elders will want to hear about this.
Agreed.
So we should wait until they're awake.
Reconvene in the morning.
You mean later tonight?
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
It's nighttime.
It's like twilight. They come alive at night.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Well, yes, I wouldn't mind getting in a nap, as I see they're currently sleeping. So.
Well, how much longer would that be?
2 hours.
Okay.
Do you have something pressing?
No, I was genuinely curious, like, could we take a long rest, or... you know?
Yes. Well, I think I will take my rest.
So you rest.
I guess I'll probably, I'll just be like meditating, really. Nothing like not going to sleep specifically, just because I don't. What's the point in going to sleep if we're gonna wake up in 2 hours?
Oh, I'm just closing my eyes. There's no guarantee that I'm sleeping.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna be awake, just like, listening to nature and, maybe just cleaning my weapons, doing a couple push-ups to try to get readjusted to wearing plate mail again.
It's been 40 years.
Yeah, but also I wouldn't be able to sleep just because of that alone.
So. Yeah, I would probably
And Sam's out.
I'm not gonna try to talk to Little Leaf
Very much
because
so.
yeah,
He's like, all my spell slots gone. Me gone.
health
Pretty much,
gone.
yeah.
One pump chump.
Ooh.
A couple pumps actually.
So you got some good pumps in there.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'd probably just be awake,
I would also like to.
taking in the environment.
Well, I can't do this because I'm out of spell slots. I'm like, I want to know where Cass is also.
Oh,
I'm stored in the bathroom.
I can do that.
Can you scry?
I can locate object.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
I'll
is
cast.
Cast as an object?
Okay.
No, I just
Oh.
do Cass's bow. No, that's a good point. Nothing.
It's within
Nothing.
1,000 feet, right?
Well, she's not with. Excuse me. She's not within 1,000 feet. Sorry.
You're right.
Yeah. The cancer's coming, getting me. So.
Oh,
The cancers.
yep, that's it. So I can't. Out of spell slots.
I'm
I'll
sure
rest.
that she'll.
Reappear.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just fast forward to.
Resting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fast forward, or so you're doing resting. I need to know, what's your hit dice?
Hit, like hit points.
Dice.
No,
What's hit?
So what do
dice?
you use to roll your hit points?
you don't have it written down.
No.
GG.
What
Give her a book. Yeah. I don't want to move
What
myself.
have I? Do we ever use that? I don't think I've ever used it.
Well, clearly you haven't.
never use it? No, I mean, you wouldn't have health if you didn't.
Oh, every time I increase in health, I roll it. I know.
Yeah.
No,
So what is it?
That's not it.
Yeah, it's,
Roll
it's
But
Well-
you're talking.
Just the dice that you use for
Yeah,
your
it's-
hit dice and your is the same dice that you would use to gain health.
1d8 plus con. But you get some that you can roll out during short rests.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's I don't know, it's something per your level.
It's half your bonus, half your level. So if it's 8, you get 4 hit dice.
I don't think that's right. If that's the case, I need to take away a lot of mine.
Yeah, but every time we rest, we just.
Although
go back
I'm
to
a
full
cleric, so it might be different.
health. Every time we rest, we go back to full health anyway. I don't think we've ever really done it that way.
Yeah, I get 1 per level as a cleric. A druid is 1 per level. 1d8 per level. So you're level what? 11? So you should have 11.
11d8.
Yeah, that you can roll during your short rest to regain health.
During short rest.
Maybe it's you gain half of them. That's what it is.
No, it's to get them back. Yeah, after you use them.
But like to rest to full health, it's to what your full health is, right?
We can talk about it later. Write a note. Put it at the end. I'll explain it to you.
So, because that's what. So when you like in a short rest like this, we would typically roll the hit die.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
if you would need it.
That's per the discretion of the DM.
No, it's per discretion of you as the player. If you feel that you need it.
Yeah, but even still, we normally just rest up the whole time.
Yes, but if you go from one boss fight to another boss fight and there's a break, you could roll your hit dice instead of burning spell slots to regain health.
Oh, yeah. I guess we just never done that because
No, we've never had we've never had a need for it
We
before.
always just rest in between anyway.
Yeah.
We never go from one boss to the next. We've gone to battles.
Okay. So when you wake, you feel renewed, but you also feel like you've slowly re-inherited some of Zion's ability. So, you guys finished your resting for 2 hours. You guys awake, and you see as the forest is lively. You see as the tree ants slowly gather around the elder tree and begin taking their spots once more.
Okay.
So I'm standing by you. I'm assuming Sam's just gonna stay asleep for this shit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm passed the fuck out. Y'all don't understand. Like my ass is like over there. Like there's a puddle of drool under me, and like birds are like shitting on my head. There's no waking me up.
So I would have rested in the position of where I would have like figured that they would all reconvene. So if like they're in arc right now, I'm like in the center.
Okay.
So when it's time, I just like open my eyes.
I'm just standing behind him.
Sure.
Not directly, but off to his side.
So you open up your eyes, you see as both elder trees slowly awake as you see their branches, and they kind of just rustle their branches, and they just look at you.
And I look back at them.
Just say hi.
Good evening.
So a dwarf, a bard, and a tree ant all walk into a bar together.
Essentially.
Nothing? Nobody?
Nope.
Tough crowd tonight.
Yes, good evening. Can I do a history check to remember what their names are?
Yes.
Bob, Steve,
17.
somebody.
17.
Yes.
You know that the woman is Wilma,
Mm-hmm.
and the gentleman is Razorhead.
Well,
You also know that it's customary not to start until it's been called to action.
oh. Well, I mean, all I said was good evening.
Yeah, you didn't disrespect anybody.
Yeah.
That's why nobody is.
Yes.
They all seem to be waiting for something.
I look around. Is Grandheart around?
Okay. So, in the meantime, I have a question about Zion's Touch. So it says that I get 1d8. Is that per level or?
No, it's 1d8,
Okay.
and then whenever you level up,
Uh-huh.
you get an extra one.
Okay.
So right now you're at
Beyond.
11, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So you have 1d8.
Okay.
So when you hit level 12, you'll be able to have 2d8s.
Okay. Gotcha.
So whenever you hit level 20, you should have like 8d8 or 9d8s.
And you say as a bonus action, if I'm not in combat, can I still use it? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're not in combat, you can use it. You just only get it 3 times a day.
Well, good thing that we did that
But if
first.
I am in combat, I use it as a bonus action.
Correct.
So,
After a little bit, you see as Little Leaf kind of comes running around the corner. Very lively. Now that he's back, but very lively. And then you see his Grandheart kind of comes around as well. And he kind of like turns the corner. He's like, sorry. And he kind of goes over to his spot, which is over by the elder tree. And he sits down. He goes, the night is well. And all of the treants together in unison, the night is well. The night has been called. As he kind of looks at you and he goes, Emerald.
good evening, all. Thank you again for having me in these blessed leaves and trees. I believe we need to address the fact that the forest has come back to life. The imminent threat of Vashva has subsided. And life can begin to flourish again in the Gligh forest. As you may see, Little Leaf has returned to us. I must say, after much peril and fear that we've experienced with the absence of Little Leaf, I do not wish to witness the pain he has experienced upon any of my fellow comrades or treants. As I mentioned to Grandheart, the threat of Vashva has subsided, and I use this word specifically because, as some of the elder treants may know, and I could not recall, due to my now being immortal, Vashva was once my sister, and I look for, recognition of that in Wilma and Razor.
Razorhead just kind of just like, And Wilma's the one that's kind of like she's like you see her kind of like nodding a little bit, and then when you say Bosch was your sister, she's like,
Okay. All right.
like this is information that you're.
Yes.
Yeah.
When faced with, again, as mentioned, to Grandheart, close to near death, Boschva offered up a bit of advice and, I guess, quid pro quo her life for information about the Helix, which is a far more imminent threat than Boschva.
What is this Helix?
I look over at Baltimore and
So I just kind of step up. I look towards Grandheart and like kind of gesture, "May I speak?" So everyone, I have for what has only felt like a couple of weeks to all of you, so the last time you all saw me, it has been over 40 years for me. I was trapped within the plane of chains for 40 years, only recently to come out. While in there, I managed to get some information about this Helix. The Helix is an enemy to everything on any plane. Its sole purpose is devouring, consuming the life force of planes in itself. And after it's done, it travels to another plane. It's only been something of myth and legend of eons ago that has only now returned. And Boschva has pledged herself for us sparing her life to help fight against this Helix. Well, we've already gotten her to a point where she was willing to offer her life in exchange for it, because she was at the point where she knew that we could have killed her. So if she decides to renege on that, we have all intention of fulfilling that and eradicating her from this plane all entirely. However, the enemy of our enemy is currently our friend. She may pose as a valuable asset in the battle for all of our existences. And I just kind of take a step back.
So you see his like raise her head. He's like finally like, you know, giving some sort, and he kind of like looks over at Wilma, and Wilma's just like, and he's like,
So I'm looking at him, and he's just like,
he's like, yeah,
this sound, yeah.
And
Looks
then he
over
looks
at
over
her.
Wilma, he's like,
No, don't agree, never mind.
And Wilma's just like,
so, the decision to spare the life of Boschva was one, yes. We considered the benefits and the consequences, but as mentioned to Grandheart, and I look over at him, given the fact that Boschva was once a kin, the fact that she is a younger sister, and once I left my position in this tree, she took over, and being the god of chaos, or the demigod of chaos, I should say, her sole purpose is to create chaos. However, in fear of death, she has promised again to remain in the tome underneath the tree, which has now been restored and replaced with Gaia, my wife, the goddess of nature. It seems as though the threat again has subsided and will not reoccur unless something drastic were to happen to Gaia. Again, my decision to become mortal and give up my godship to my wife was a decision that I made, and one that I now realize was a bit reckless. It didn't affect just myself nor my wife, it affected all of you and all of the creatures of this forest, and for that I can only offer my sincerest apologies and hope that you all regard me in even the slightest, well, regard as a member of this force. But, yes, I believe that Bashva will not be an issue again, and will only hope to serve as future aid and guidance in our quest to defeat the greater threat that is the Heliotrix.
Well, I hope that your decision to keep her locked up in the tome is a wise one. Bashba hasn't been known to really be controlled. But I will stand behind you if that's your decision.
And I take a step forward and just kind of look at you again. So we also, with that being said, please do not believe that we are putting full trust in Bashva's word. Gaia has agreed to look over her while we continue to rally as many allies against our ultimate threat. However, that being said, we also discussed the potential of your help in the matter with Bashva, if it is at all possible. We do not wish for anybody to interact with her, but the seal of the tome from the outside leading in is a little bit broken. Still intact for the most part, but nonetheless weaker than it once was. And we were curious if you had any form of sentries that could just take note and be guard on it. Not to engage if she were to break out, but merely just to give us word. We've already bested her once, and if need be, we will best her again. However, we cannot be present the entire time watching over her when there are various other things that must be done. And I just take another step back.
She looks over at Grandheart, and Grandheart kind of like takes one of his branches, and he just kind of lays it down at your feet, or at both of your feet, and he goes, plant this there, and if something happens, I shall send word via wind.
Once at your feet, I step back, so.
I take it. And I'm assuming the seal that was broken for that gauntlet was to keep Bashva in. Is that correct?
Are you looking at Grandheart? Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at all of them.
Grandheart has no idea. He kind of looks at Wilma, and Wilma just kind of looks at you real quick, and she responds, "No. The tomb was for something much more powerful than that, but it's already escaped."
And what was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Creature not known of this world.
Then how do we know that it's escaped?
Because it's
It's
not
no
there.
longer there.
But if you don't know what it was to begin with, how do we know that it was ever there to begin with? I trust your word. I guess I question the source. The source of what that monster
You may have
was.
lost your ability to feel the presence of others, but we have not. I'm sure when you're around evil entities, you feel that presence.
Yes.
And if that presence is gone, you no longer feel it.
This is mostly true, yes.
So when she's saying this, my perception kind of peaks. Are any one of them turning to look at me at all? Because I'm standing behind him. Like, while she's saying any of that. Do any one of those three, like, while looking at him, dart? Okay.
Understood. Well, if it is no more, or if that seal has been broken because that monster is gone, unfortunately, that is a threat that We have no other way of knowing that it is kept in. That being said, I'm grateful for Grandheart's branch, and it will remain at that seal, or if you'd prefer, at the entrance of the tomb, the base of my tree.
No, we needed that thing.
The tomb?
Yeah.
The seal.
No, because Gaia is going to watch it from the inside. We need somebody from the outside.
So at the beginning of the tomb. Then what will become of the broken seal?
I am not aware of how to reseal that.
Well, I should say, what will become of that maze, dungeon, cavernous area?
It will be there. Ruins in the forest.
Fair.
Have you given any thought to what or which gift you shall receive?
Gift?
You were presented with options to bring Little Leaf home.
Oh, mind you, yes.
And if we brought Little Leaf home, we got 2.
What were the gifts? I'm sorry, the battle has taken a lot out of me.
I vaguely remember, I believe that one was a seed that when it was
Make
planted...
a history check with disadvantage.
Can I also make a history check?
40 years.
Okay,
Can
fair.
I make a history check?
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I know specifically one, for sure.
Yeah. Like you would know that for a fact, yeah.
Disadvantage, right? 14.
You don't know.
I definitively
You remember
know
one.
20 not natural.
20 not natural. So you know that there were weapons for each of you. A piece of Marlesh's weapon. They were going to do something with Cass's owl. Like, they didn't say what. They were going to give information on Cass's father. They said that they would leave a legacy for you because there's really not much that they can do for you.
But they didn't specify what a legacy.
Correct. Seeds for an army of treants, as strong as about 20,000 men for Rahun and his Iron Wall. And they could also help in Atreya's trading post.
So I ask Wilma, would you mind expanding on the legacy that you mentioned? Legacy that you plan to leave me, if that is an option?
What is something that you would like?
I'm pretty happy with the legacy that we've done here, ridding this area of Vashva and Gaia remaining here.
We can build you a statue. We can release your name amongst the wind. We can do many things.
And we get to pick 2 from this list.
You are correct.
I don't think the legacy, but I do thank you for that option. But I do believe that I've gained a lot from this experience, and I think there are other things that would be better suited for our, and I do say our future, the future of this forest and my comrades. I look over and I look for Rahun and I'm like, the Treant army would definitely be helpful in the fight against the Iron Wall, but I do not see my fellow dwarf.
Is it specific for the Iron Wall? The seeds for the army? As in, will you only allow
it was agreed upon, as she looks over at Razorhead and Grandheart, it was to be designed that there was a gift for each of you. For Rahun, we understand that he needs or would like to go back to his Iron Wall, and therefore an army may be needed to defend such visions. If there is another battle that you would like to use it for, you should present it now, and we can discuss.
I don't know, I think the fight against the Iron Wall is a really good one. If called upon and needed in the future, I don't see that.
Well, what about if we could use it for either or? Because if we took it, yes, it would be Rahun's decision to use. But he said initially he didn't want to. He didn't want to take back the Iron Wall via force.
That
But
might
so the
not
question
be his
is
decision.
true. But I'm saying if we took that for him to use for that, and then we ended up taking back the Iron Wall, not needing a battle, could we use those seeds for? That's my point.
That is a good point.
Why don't you ask that question?
But I feel that in a sense that's not our decision to make.
She just said if we have an idea to present it. So I'm saying.
She hears us talking about this, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so would that be an option? If we took it for Rahun, the seeds for Rahun, to potentially use it, because though I do agree with what you're saying, he specified after our first encounter that he did not want to take back the Iron Wall by force. He wanted to spare as many as he could. That being said, we do have, as I previously stated, the Helix. So if we were to take the seeds on his behalf to give to him to use for the Iron Wall, but was unneeded there, would we be allowed to use them for this temporary army for the Helix? So one or the other, not both, but nonetheless, it would still be Rahun's decision.
She looks at Razorhead, and Razorhead's like... And then she looks over at Grandheart, and Grandheart just kind of looks at her. He looks at you. So you do have the consent of the three.
And I look over at Baltimore and I say, I really wish that Cass was here, because this also is part of her choice. She has an option to find out more information about Corvus. Is that what I remember?
Is that a decision for the seeds?
I mean, you know what I want.
Yeah. I think the seeds, yes.
You see as she kind of reaches up into her branches, she rustles, and then she brings down what looks to be about 15 seeds.
So the next item is my wish. We need to discuss.
15 of them, huh?
There's not very much to discuss.
What is the information about Cass's father that we can get? I call out to Cass. I say,
She's not gonna hear you. She's not with. She's
Cass.
outside of 1,000 feet.
I just say it out loud. Cass, I wish you were here. Was that her? Oh god.
No.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
I was like, what's going on here?
So that's the only option. Is mine.
That's your only option. It's not our only option.
That may have been me, I'm sorry guys.
Okay, so I spoke to Marlesh. If I can recreate his weapon, it may be one of the only things that the Heliotrix is vulnerable to. Because this is a god weapon. And I already know where 2 pieces are. 2, right? No, 1. 1 piece. Right?
You had the hilt.
Yeah, but I didn't find any other. This
Had it?
was the second one.
What do you
You had the hilt.
Had
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What happens to it?
Somebody else has it right now. They have it in safekeeping.
Okay.
But if I can, this is 2 pieces of it. If I can bring them all back together, this is something that she's vulnerable to. Because she is a forgotten entity.
The other option.
And Marlesh himself is a forgotten god.
The other options are Atreus Trading Post.
You know that there's
5.
5.
Currently left.
No,
Oh no.
No, there's
There's
5.
total of
there's
5.
5 pieces for Marlesh's weapon.
but there's 3 left. I already know where 1 is, and this, well, 2 technically, but I already know where the other piece is,
You
and
have
this
to
is,
collect the other 3 after this.
yes.
You know where 2. He knows where 2's at. One of them's here.
Yes.
However, like I said, the reason why, because Marlesh told me that the reason why that this is probably the one item that she would be the most vulnerable to, if fully constructed, is because she is a forgotten entity, and he is currently a forgotten god.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they both are forgotten leaves the fact that she can be vulnerable to her own type in a sense.
Got it, yes. Now the other 2 options of Cass. One, the options were 1 for each person, but Cass currently has 2. Am I not wrong in that?
Correct.
Why is that? 1 for Corvus, 1 about her father.
They said they would do something for Corpus, or give information on her father. However, we already know where her father is.
Where is he?
Well, I mean, I remember from 40 years ago. I don't know if that's changed much, but
What do you remember?
he's up north.
Further north than the Iron Wall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The Great Barrier.
I do
'cause
remember.
The Iron Wall is,
Yep.
West.
thank you, west.
Hmm.
But the Great Barrier is northwest.
The Great Barrier. The entrance that you know of is northwest, but the whole mountain
whole north
range
is
is like
okay.
The Great
So
Barrier.
he's in the Great Barrier in that time place that we already heard of.
Yeah. Well, as much as I love Atreya, I don't think we're going to benefit as much from her gaining trade posts. That trade's already come back. I'm fine with the legacy that I already left. We've gotten Rahun's army. The army that he can use at his discretion. We know a lot about Cass's father. I don't know what other information or something for Corvus would gain. And your weapon, or a piece of your weapon.
That, could help kill the entity that wants to wipe out all existence on this plane.
Yes. I think about it for a little bit.
I stare at him.
I'm still thinking. I don't say that out loud, but I'm just deliberating.
I start looking at his feet to see if he's growing roots, becoming one of these tree ants.
And this is my decision or our decision, Wilma?
it can be yours or both.
Both. Because, and I turn and look at Sam. He's asleep. We don't know where Cass is. And we've already mutually come to a decision for Rahun. Here's my biggest selling point towards this.
We'll take Marlesh's item.
Thank you.
You see is she reaches up and then brings down. I don't have a card for it. I'll have to get it, but
Shucks.
you see is it's wrapped up in a velvet, and the velvet turns from like a dark purple to almost like a white tan, and it just varies back and forth as you unpiece, as you pull it back. If you choose to unravel it, you see that it's a fragment of a sword. Has like almost like a kind of looks like that.
Yes.
Okay.
And I look at it and I say, oh, we're going to need the dwarf for this. He's definitely going to have to be reforged.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
It's a weapon of a god. It might just fuse in itself.
Look, I know we deal in magic, but some things are very material.
Never know.
Fair. I wrap it back up. Give it to him.
Take it.
And I say thank you very much for these gifts.
And then I just kind of like bow my head courteously towards both of them. And then I just put it in my bag. So.
Is there anything that we can do to restore order to this land and our forest?
Look around you. The forest is live. It is at peace. I don't think there is anything that you need to do to restore what has been restored to its fullest.
Agreed. Sometimes I think back to the decision that I made, and now realizing the depth of its effect, I wish that at times I hadn't made that decision. However, thinking back, no, I don't think I would have made that change.
Well, we will always be grateful for you.
Well, if it is okay with you, I think we will take our rest.
I have one last question. Do you know the direction to the Elven Kingdom by chance?
The elves stay on the east side of the forest. As she kind of looks down, she looks toward the east, kind of northeast-ish. However, hidden. So you would need to be able to gain access to it.
Well, as I mentioned, I think that we will take our rest. I would like to visit with Little Leaf and Grand Heart some more before we take our leave. I think I also would like to pay a visit to my father. How is he doing? Have you heard any word from him?
He's doing well.
Very good.
Enjoying his time gardening.
Yes. I was expecting. All right.
If you want to spend time with Little Leaf and Grand Heart, I can take Sam and we can head over to your father. They're not that far from here, right? His father's place is not that far.
It was the tomb that wasn't that far. His
My father's place is gone far.
Oh, it
it's
is?
like a couple hours. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Walking though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that I would want to do, like,
Well,
tomorrow morning.
Well, you can spend time with Grand Heart. I can just run the twig over.
Ah, yes. No, I think I'll do that first. I'll run the branch over, because I want to make sure that it's done properly.
No, that's fair.
No offense to you, but
No, sure. I'm not arguing.
So what's going on? So you're going
I'm
over
gonna go,
to plant the branch.
I'll go
plant
with
the
him.
branch,
Okay.
and then afterwards I'll say hello to Little Leaf and hang out.
Sure. Make a demon handling check. as you guys enter the ruins. You don't get the same like dredgery or anything like that.
Ruins and tomb. Are they two different places?
Well,
or
they're
they...
considered ruins, but
The tomb is.
they're one and the same. Like, so when you go into the ruins,
Uh-huh.
it leads to the tomb.
Okay.
Yeah,
And this
where
is
the
where
saints-
Bosco went in.
That's where she's at. Yes.
Okay. Alright. Because she entered
Through
the roots of the tree.
correct. Yeah.
But they're connected.
Correct.
Okay. I want to make sure that I'm putting it in the right place.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
So.
Okay.
11.
11. Okay.
So I go, and we go to plant this branch.
Where are you planting it? Where?
At the front of where the tomb is, that we would know that like she could possibly re-enter from.
Okay.
Well, there is an entrance. So you can put it right in front of the entrance.
Yeah, so then I'll do that. Well.
Okay.
I need to roll on him.
Put
When I put it in the plant it, water it a little bit, say some positive words. Does it do anything?
Positive.
Yeah.
Sure. The positivity is sprouts, just like probably like a foot off the ground.
Yes.
As it becomes, just looks like a little tree. It doesn't look like anything crazy or magnificent. Just a small tree.
Okay. Alright, then I look over at Baltimore and say, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with Little Leaf.
Okay, I guess I'll wait for you.
I think I would like to rest at my father's instead of with the tree ants.
I would agree with that,
So,
but I don't really remember the way.
are you going to be able to do that though? Because
No, I'll take Sam and myself to the hut that's not that far away.
okay,
The snoring is real.
I might need to get retold where that hut is.
agreed.
Which hut?
The hut that's like not. It's like a 30-minute walk
Where he was born.
from. No,
Oh,
that's like 30 minutes
yes, agreed. Yeah,
behind where I stayed at before because I couldn't stay at his father's place
because of the wars.
because of all the wards and stuff.
The hut was an hour away from his place.
My father's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hours out from his
Yeah,
place.
but I'm saying we'll go to his father's and then that's where him and I will stay
Oh, okay. In the hut.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
because we're outside of the wards.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna go visit with Little Leaf for maybe an hour.
So are you like heading over now, or are you like waiting for him
I'm
to be
waiting for him.
finished?
I don't remember the way, so
Okay, gotcha. That's what I was confused about. I was like, are you trying to say like you're gonna go or?
no,
Like...
I'm waiting for him.
Okay, so you go and you see Grandheart and Little Leaf. They're enjoying his time. I mean, Grandheart's just kind of there. Little Leaf is the one just kind of running around. You see he's with his father. If you recall, there was a ent that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And you see as the father is over watching him as he's going around.
So I go catch up with Little Leaf, and I'm
Sure.
like, "How are you feeling?"
Losing his mind.
I'm well.
You're well. Well, what do you remember, if anything, from your time in that dark place?
Not much.
No. Did Boshra ever say anything to you?
Not that I remember.
Well, you've gotten big since the last time I've seen you.
Thanks.
Any big plans for the future?
Nope.
Well, if you ever need anything, just let me know.
I will shout.
What will you shout?
I don't know. I can't use the wind yet.
Ah, that's true. Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I will say my goodbye, and I wish you the best. And don't get caught up in any dark, scary routes again.
I won't.
Wait, why did you go down there to begin with? One last question.
I was playing with the cat.
The cat?
I was playing with the shadow cat.
Oh, yes. Have you seen the shadow cat?
Nope.
Okay, that's enough with the question.
I'm told I can't be playing with the Shadow Cat anymore.
Yep, let's not do that anymore. Okay, well, I give him a hug. And then I say goodbye and I say, Grandheart, I bid you adieu. I'm going to visit my father.
Should we leave? We don't even know where Cass is.
We haven't rested. I can't scry.
I mean, we could rest here. I know you want to see your dad, but I'm saying if we left and Cass
She couldn't have gone much farther, I'll find her.
with another individual.
If Cass comes back, or the Shadow Cat, aka the Black Panther, would you let me know via the wind?
I will.
Okay. Then again, I bid you adieu, and it's always good to see you, old friend.
Indeed is you for you. Be well.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I go to give him a fist bump.
He looks at Emerald.
And I'm like,
So like you see his like big massive branch, he like curls it like that,
oh god.
and he's like, "You sure?"
Not full force. You just tap knuckles.
Just put it out.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Like you
wouldn't-
see his like he was like getting ready to
Yeah,
just
I'm
like
this could be a universal sign for pounding.
yeah.
Like,
So he's just like, you see as he like gets like a foot out from you, and he's like, "Better if you do it."
So I just go up and I like connect and just hold it, kind of shake my head, and then I pull away from him. So I
And
would
he's
give
just
you,
left there like with his fist still handing out, and you.
I would give you a handshake, but your hand is the size of my body, so that would kind of be irrelevant.
I just look at him and I nod. I'm like, just go with it.
It's a sign of respect.
Okay, Grandheart, have a good evening. And I head to the
May
door.
your night be well.
Yes, and yours. We will
Direwolf?
take our... First of all, oh wait, no, he can fly.
He's asleep. He has no spell slots.
Mm.
So if you're a direwolf, I can toss him on your back, and then we can ride there and cut the time in half.
What's that?
I said your boy is spent.
Yeah, he's on.
There's nothing coming out of here. I can throw some magic missiles. That's about all I got.
So I will turn into a giant eagle
Okay.
and pick up him and him
I
with
don't-
my talons.
Okay.
And we will fly to my father's home.
Okay.
So that's what we're currently doing.
All right. Sounds good. So you.
So while we're flying, can I make a perception check to see if I see Corvus anywhere?
Sure.
25.
Nope.
Fuck. Like, that's not bad, but...
So we make it.
Yeah, you get there safely. You see the clearing in which your dad keeps his place as you're coming down into it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I would not come down into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the hut.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to... Is the horse still there?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, I want to see the
You
horse.
can see the horse in the morning.
Alright.
The horse is probably asleep. It's night. So
Mind you, I'm like, I want to see the horse. Ha! Like,
exactly. That's exactly how I see it.
So you come down by the hut.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of hover there as you just pop them both off.
Yeah.
So I pick him up, I take him inside.
And I look at him and I just nod.
We'll come back in the morning. Or we'll head over there.
Okay. So you get over to your.
My father's.
Okay.
And I come down and I turn back into myself.
Okay.
Knock on the door.
You kind of put your ear to the door.
I open the door.
It's locked.
Do I know of a way to get into the house? Wait a minute. I lived in this house my entire life. Even as a teenager, there was no way for me to slip in or out.
Not with his wards.
Frick. I don't want to wake him.
He said nah, bro.
I throw up my my pocket tent.
Okay, so you throw out your pocket tent. So you
Nice.
pitch a tent.
Yep. That's where I was
Right there on the porch.
Right there on the porch.
Sounds good. So, if you guys want to take a break, or you guys want to keep just going?
Oh, we can take a quick break.
Yeah, I just have to use that.
All right, so we will take a quick break as our heroes are sleeping, gathering their strength for the oncoming day. We will be right back in a couple minutes. Alright. Hello and welcome back.
Never mind, I have it. Sorry. I was supposed to give these to you. Do you want them?
That's fine.
Okay.
We are back as our heroes are sleeping. However, I have been made aware that there is something about to take place. As once I get...
Uh-oh. Shit's about to go down.
Dramatic twist.
So I place him in the bed, and I go and lay on the other one, and I, go off, and I go into sleep, and then I once again bring myself back to that same place with the meeting table, and I just slowly walk up and I take my seat again, and I just wait.
After some time, you see as they both of the demons come and they take their place at the table. You see as he's just kind of sit back and he's just waiting.
Well, step 1 has been completed. I apologize for my poor performance as your vessels. But I'm sure that the both of you found it humorous in your own way.
I found it absolutely hilarious. You see as Belloc just kind of, he's like... So what have you decided to be the next step?
Well, I was hoping, with time permitted, dealing with the Iron Wall and the Great Barrier would have been the next step.
What does the Great Barrier have to do with anything?
Either a unified front or an obstacle that neither one of us have to deal with later on.
I have seen some of the things happening at the Iron Wall, and it is quite well planned. You shall receive word soon, but it looks like there has been a mass execution, one of which that can play into our means if the cards are played well. And he kind of looks at you again.
Well, then I will look forward to these words, and I will plan accordingly on this end. However, it will only be provided that we have the necessary time. If our time is up and we must venture forward, then that is our agreement.
Also, he's being quite annoying. He would like to take form for a bit.
At this moment.
Sometime soon.
So I turn and look at Belloc and I say, Belloc, what is it that you wish?
Blood.
Any various type or specific type or just in general?
Any.
Give me a day or two, and I'll find a place inconspicuous to our plans, and you can have your fun.
I don't care about plans.
Planning is very relevant right now, especially for what to come. we should not be hasty. Because if we are hasty, then the past 40 years has been absolutely for nothing. For all of us. For the time we are in this together, friend.
As you say that, the other one kind of looks at you, tilts his head. Let's get something straight. We are not friends. We may be in this together, but we are not friends.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. You may look at me, the both of you may look at me however you wish. But for 40 years, you were the closest things to friends that I have. So if you do not wish to look at me as a friend, and I look over to Belloc, and Belloc, if you wish to not look at me as a friend, then very well. But for the time, per our agreement, I will look at both of you as friends. On my end, at least. I do not expect the same in return.
You would do well to keep it that way. As he also kind of looks over at Belloc as well, and Belloc just kind of looks at him. I'm bored. And you see as Belloc just gets up and he walks away.
So I don't say anything to him as he leaves.
You can you can't see him, but you can hear him in the background. You can hear him just throwing stuff. You every now and then you see the lash of the whip. He's like a 5-year-old just kind of throwing a temper tantrum as he wants to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, I will do my best to hurry on my end. As I said, the Iron Wall and Great Barrier would be very useful on this side. And I know your position, and I would hope that one day you would reconsider. But I will not force you. I already know that whatever I may say is nothing you haven't already heard over 40 years. But if it is time, I will stand by my part of the agreement.
Do what you need to do for now.
I'll take my leave. And I'll stand and I'll just nod again to him.
In Baltimore, his mind will be tested. Maybe an opportunity to have him join your cause.
Who?
Rahun.
I feel as if we already have one individual that's impatient. 2 might not be good. However, you've been a great counselor to me over 40 years. Who am I to doubt you now?
Well, if he doesn't, it would do you wise to take his things. Especially the orb. See as he gets up and he moves.
Until next time, friend. And I turn and I walk my way.
Sure. So that's everything you wanted to do, okay? So you guys wake up.
How did I get here?
We carried you. Come on, we gotta go.
As you guys wake up to the tattering of rain hitting, whether that be the tent, the little area, and the little hut, and you can tell it's raining. It's kind of a dreary type of morning, but this is good. This is good because with rain comes regrowth, especially in this forest that has not had a lot of it. So you take it as a good sign. However, you being in your tent, after a little bit, you hear, "Oh well, I'll be. Emerald, is that you?
Yes, Father.
Speaking of which, I call Sapien. We both hop on Sapien's back.
Do you go in the wards?
I would go around the wards
Sure.
to the front of the house
Sure.
where we would be more easily visible.
Okay.
But just to save on time for walking.
Yeah.
So I get out of the tent and I gather up my pocket tent and I say, Father, how are you?
I'm doing well. These old bones, but don't think I've seen it rain in quite some time.
Yes,
I assume you were successful.
indeed I was.
Good. 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 You see as his mind kind of wanders for a bit, you can tell that he's thinking of your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a quick moment of sadness, but replaced with happiness and content.
And I just look at him and I say, she would have wanted to be here to see this moment,
She would have.
but she's with us.
She is. She's right over there. No, I'm just joking.
Mom! So, I figured we could have a cup of tea, catch up maybe for a bit, before I take my leave again.
Yes, if you'd like to come on in, absolutely.
Yes.
I was actually just starting some eggs and meat, but I can definitely whip up some tea.
Wonderful. Do you mind if we're joined by some comrades?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm sure they will be here sometime soon.
Sure.
Why? Go in the house.
So you go in the house. You see as he makes herbal tea. He has it pretty much set and just heating up. You guys make small talk about just various things, how Boschma's adventure went, things of that nature. Are you two doing anything outside? Sam, you're well rested. You get your hit points back, all that good stuff.
Not really. I'm just like confused at why, like, how I got there, and I'm just like, all right.
Well, I explain on the travel
I know.
where we're.
I got that far, but I'm still like,
Did we make it to the front?
no.
Yeah.
Is it before they walked in? Or after?
It would be after, because you got to walk like an hour to get to his place.
Well, no, we're riding.
But you have to walk to the place first. Because remember, the hut was an hour away from where his place is.
So we made it there in 30 minutes.
Who are you riding?
Sapien.
Safian's back at his place.
That's Siegfried. Sapien is my paladin.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry. My
It's
bad.
still 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so 30 minutes, he's still in there.
Yeah. So we get there, I'm just like, hey, I just like take a step into the area.
Sure. You drop to the ground.
Oh man, I tripped and I just kind of like back myself out. I'm like stretching. I'm like, why don't you go in and knock? Sam, why don't you go in and knock?
Nah, that's why not? I'll go up here and I'll knock.
So you see as he steps in and he falls straight to the floor as you become paralyzed. Your body is like mended to the ground.
Does my father say anything?
No,
Oh, okay.
he's like he's just there like yeah. Actually, no. Here, look. You see, is like he pours the tea and he like stops for a second, and then he keeps pouring the tea. I mean, there's been so many times that things have tried to trip the boards, but he's like he doesn't.
Yeah. He's like, there's a draft.
So I grab him by
Yeah,
his
exactly.
I grab him by his foot and I just drag him out of the
Sure.
circle.
So now you're back. You're back.
So I asked Sapien if he would if he would go up to the door and knock, in a sense.
How do you want him to knock?
I mean, he's a giant panther, so
with his paw.
yeah,
Tap, tap.
not scratch, but yeah, or like use his nose to something, or look in their window, or go up to the door and just let out a cry, like Rah!
Okay. So he goes over, and you hear this cry, just like that, as it's coming from the door. And your father kind of he goes like this.
I'm like, Dad, do you have stray cats?
Wild animals come through here all the time. He's like, he'll leave. If not, we can cook it for dinner.
Oh, that sounds good. So I continue on.
Yeah. He's like, he pours tea.
He's yelling like, "Put your head in the window!"
I don't hear that, so.
No, I'm telling the cat. To go up to the window and put his head in the window.
Yeah, sure. So he goes over and you see the cat make a perception check.
It's a giant panther, really, but
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah. So you turn the corners, you see this panther you've never seen before.
no, he has.
You've seen the panther?
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
When?
At the ice place, the ice city.
Oh.
That was the first time I used it.
Oh. So you see a panther.
I'm like, oh wait, no, I know that cat.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
I can't cook that cat. I think they're here, Father. But and I remember, and I'm like, they can't come in because of the wards. Yeah.
It's too bad. You want to bring them some tea?
I would love to. Yes.
Where's 2 cups?
So I grab them and I cover them a little bit, and I just said I'll be right back.
Indeed.
So I take it out.
Sure. It's raining, just hit you. You see as you're coming out, and they're just soaked.
Yes. And I'm I come up and I'm did you sleep well?
Take the cup and yeah, it was great.
Now, mind you, when they drink this tea, it's very soothing.
Yeah, it's herbal tea, man.
No, and
we want to be it's some chamomile.
No, it's
honey.
It's good. They regain
various mints.
Yes. Agreed. Well,
a spot of lemon.
If you all would like to stay in the tent to get out of the rain for a bit, I can draw up my pocket tent.
Be nice.
I would welcome you inside, however.
Yep.
Okay. So I throw out my pocket tent.
Okay.
I shouldn't be long. I'm just going to have a few words with my father, and then
try to get directions to the Elven Kingdom.
Shouldn't we wait, or? Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna scry for cats.
Okay. I mean, still knowing how to get there would be nice too, but yeah.
That's true. All right. Well, so I go back with my father and I have breakfast and tea.
Sure.
I say, Father, do you have any suggestions or any things that you would like done for this forest, seeing now that it's being restored, or?
Can't think of anything.
No.
I think I'll just live my days here, and when I'm ready to pass, I'll step beyond.
Yes. Do give me word.
Yes, absolutely. I'll send word with the wind.
Yes, wonderful. Also, how do you do that? I would love to learn how to do that.
Treants teach you certain things. They have I have a little leaf that I talk into, and then it sends it. So.
Oh. Did they bestow that upon you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I'd have to talk to Wilma about that.
Can I roll a history check to see if that elven forest or that elven city has a teleportation circle?
Yes, with disadvantage.
So I say to him, what about the Iron Wall? What can you tell me about that? And how we might...
Haven't been there in years.
You remember a safe passageway, or...?
I mean, there might be one from the sea, but other than that, you'd have to go through the iron gates.
Oh. Yeah.
13.
13. You know that there is one, but it was not given out. Because they choose to remain silent, so out of respect for the race, they don't.
So I said, what about the Elven Kingdom?
Also haven't been there in years, son. I'm sorry. I don't venture past the...
No, I
woods.
understand that. That's fine. But how might I get there? It's still to the east?
I would assume it's still northeast if it hasn't moved its location.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know of any kin from the Great War all those eons ago?
Not with that specific clan, no.
Okay. No connection to them at all? You don't ever hear from them? Well, anything you can teach me? I've gotten into alchemy as of recent. Any special herbs? Any special herbs or things from the garden that you might be willing to teach your old son?
Is there something you're looking for?
Yes, give me a moment. Let me...
So I would hope that I at some point called Siegfried's attention over.
Yeah.
Cast tongues on him so I can talk to him.
Well, it's touched, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's currently strapped to a pole.
Oh no! Fuck. So I get Sapien to cut the pole. To like bite the strap or whatever.
To have him bite the strap.
To like try to cut the strap or try to free him just to release whatever that it is.
Now your panther has like disposable thumbs.
No, but I mean it's got claws. It's an intelligent creature. It still has like a consciousness. It's a celestial entity. It's not like its intelligence is 1.
And this is based on fine steed.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it to a point where you're starting to do a whole bunch of other stuff because it's really supposed to just be meant for writing, not as like a straight.
Am I supposed to read that?
Oh, you can. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so it'll go and I guess snap the reins. So
Then I call over for Siegfried.
okay, he comes over to you.
So when he gets within touch, I cast tongues on him so I can speak to him. And then I just have I make food for him, and I just like a whole bunch of apples or whatever.
Sure.
And then and I just sit there and just talk to him,
Sure.
just catching up. I feel like it's been so long.
He's like, I've eat some grass, have some apples, have some grass.
I'm like, is he taking good care of you?
Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad. I missed you. It's been 40 years. And that's all that I'm doing. While he's in the tent, I assume, to get out of the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
So how about some
Just have it.
yeah, maybe some Palma Eldath or Palast or Pargan.
And what ingredients are those for?
Yes, that's for well, given the fact that we would have to go north, the Palma Eldath would be good for enduring elements. That's the mountain cold. The Palast might come in handy for removing curses, and the Pargan might also be good for revivification in the event that someone were to perish.
I have basic ingredients.
Basic? Father, you've been gardening longer than I've been alive. How is that possible? You've traveled this realm more than I have.
I've only been in this area.
I'm gonna insight check
Sure.
the hell out of my father.
Oh yeah, because you know your mom was holding some
Oh
secrets.
yeah, exactly.
Eight?
Yes.
You like take a second, you like go out the window, you like look down at his garden, you're like,
Pretty
you
basic.
got some basic shit. You basic. You like Starbucks basic.
Nothing. You don't even think Mom might have known where some of those things would be. I could get a hold of those.
Your mother.
She held many secrets. Yes.
She was a hoe.
She must know of something regarding those.
Probably, but she's dead.
Oh. Father must be so vain. We know Mom is not with us.
You can go check her room.
Oh my god. I think I will.
Enjoy it.
So I go and I investigate Mom's room.
Which is also his room. He just
Correct, yeah.
So you go into the room.
Yeah.
What are you checking?
Under the bed.
Sure,
in the
make an
closet.
investigation check.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for some good stuff. Natural 20.
So,
Mind you, Mom loved to be indoors in garden, and she would have had house plants inside.
oh, is that so?
Yes.
Okay. So,
That she might have forgotten about 40 years ago and probably are dead.
I'll just add it to the backstory now.
No, absolutely not.
So, you don't find any. You find basic plants. What you do find is a journal of sorts.
Oh.
And it talks about how you were born. It talks about
Oh, good. The old birth story.
birth story. It talks about your items that were given to you. So your hat. It talks about how your hat gave certain properties that allowed you to help with poisons. The feather allowed you to speak with certain animals. The claw actually was used once. They caught you blowing into it, and it seemed like some form of aid would appear. I think those were all of your items.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just pocket the journal.
Okay. You also find various fun items that your parents would use.
Oh, that is just wrong.
You find a jewelry case that has a various amounts of jewels in it. On site, you could probably say maybe about 1,200 gold worth of jewels. You got a natural 20. I'm giving you what would be in her room.
Yeah.
Getting options, bro.
Correct.
You find a ring. It looks to be somewhat like an engagement ring.
Oh.
Kind of set up. You can see it's nicely in like a little case, like a see-through case. What else? You find clothes, various clothes. Okay.
Oh wow.
Let's see. You find trying to think what would be relevant currently. You find you find seeds. you don't know what these seeds are.
So
And that's
I
it.
Go back to Father and I say, hey, do you know what these seeds are for?
Oh. Yeah.
Care to enlighten me on what they do or grow?
Well, son, take a seat.
So I sit down for a long story.
When your mom and I were young, and we were looking to enjoy life on another level, we would use these seeds to
It's ecstasy.
bring us to a higher point.
Are you telling me that you elevated your mind, body, and soul with these seeds?
Yes.
They're psychedelics.
Yeah.
Do they do anything for magic users, i.e. enhance spellcasting and or ward placement?
I know it enhances some sexual intensity.
Okay, that's it. Alright, Dad. That's it. Yep. That's where you can stop right there.
Did you at least take the seeds?
I took them.
Okay.
Don't take all of them though. Can you leave me one?
Pop, Mom's gone. What are you gonna do with this?
She's gone.
Okay. Yep. Nope. That's it.
I'm not
That's all I gotta
married.
say. Nope, got it. Heard.
He's a bachelor. What?
I leave him 2 seeds.
Thanks. He said. You hear him mumble something as he takes it.
So I begin to tell him a little bit about Lacey and Tracy. We just have that conversation for a little while, and I'm like,
Okay.
well, we're talking about it.
And he's just like, you hear us, he's just like, How old are they?
Yes.
Are they, proportion?
Correct. So I think these seeds... seeds will definitely come in handy. So.
You said, send them?
Send
Send them.
How? Can I tell what
You got here.
I flew here.
Or send a dryad my way. They're so hot.
Dryad?
Yeah.
I might be able to conjure you one.
That's kind of weird.
Is it
Having
any
your
weirder
son conjure a...
Come on. Look at these seeds.
My boy, look at you. You got a beard as big as mine.
Correct. Your point?
I'm not having a threesome with my son.
Oh, I'm not talking about... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Alright, yep. Okay, well, I think that's where we'll end it, Pop.
Serious. I'll pay. Actually, I don't have any money.
Exactly. So, maybe as a Father's Day gift. It's coming up soon.
You said you're going to the, the Iron Wall, right?
Yes, I think after we stop by the Elven Kingdom.
He says, here, take these. And he kind of goes over to a cupboard and he pulls out like these thicker bricks. And they're kind of sleek looking. And he kind of gives you a small pouch full. So you get 90 runics.
And I look at them and I'm like, what exactly is this?
You'll come to find that in dwarven cities, sometimes gold is not necessarily taken with some shops, but the runics will help.
Oh. So, what is the equivalence to gold?
I don't know. I haven't been in the city for quite a while.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this. And I'll see what I can do about that dryad. So, all right. Well, I don't want to keep my friends waiting. But before I do go, do you mind if I scry for a friend?
No, please feel free to do so.
So I'm gonna cast scrying for Cass.
Okay. And what does Scry say?
You can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. Target must make a wisdom saving throw. which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have. If a target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. On a successful save, the target isn't affected, and you can't use the spell again for 24 hours. On a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor. Within 10 feet of the target, you can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration. And a creature you can see invisible objects. A creature that can see invisible objects sees the sensor as a luminous orb about the size of your fist.
Alright, so what are you using? What's your connection?
So, I think in the past when I used this, what did I use? I think I used the holy water. And prior to actually going on this trip, I think there was, between this and another spell, yeah, I needed a magnifying glass for another spell, but like I stocked up on these items prior to coming. That was part of our shopping.
Okay. So how many uses do you have?
I think I only got like 2 font-filled holy water. So
Okay, it's worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah, this would be my.
Okay. So
second.
that's the component. So you obviously know her very well. But what's the connection? So are you just using a likeness or picture, a possession or garment, body part, lock of hair, bit of nail?
Can I use her bow? Is that?
So you're going to try and use a likeness or picture in your head?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you're good. She fails. So your vision casts out, traveling through the forest, as it finally meets at the edge of the forest, more southward toward the beach. And you see as Cass and the panther are communicating. You see as she's like playing with it as it's going back and forth. Kind of, she's learning about the panther, learning what it can do, learning what it can see. Do you hear? Yeah, you can hear. So you hear them talking, and Cass is like, "Hey, we really need to get back to, my friends. This, that, and the other." And you hear the panther's just like, "Well, let's play a little bit longer. I'm sure that they're, we can get back to them. Blah blah blah. Like, just make a small talk." So you can tell that they're just kind of getting to know one another, but do have every intention of coming back here shortly. And you observe that for about 10 minutes, and
That'd be that.
yep, and then you
Come back.
bring your vision back.
So I asked my father. You did say that you can send messages through the wind, yes?
Yeah.
Do you think that you could send a message to a friend, Cassiopeia, and tell her to please meet us here as soon as possible?
I can communicate with those that know how to use the wind. If I sent it to her, she may not even receive it.
Okay.
Panther might, though.
That's true.
Wouldn't know.
Okay, well, I think I've gotten everything that I need and want. Thank you so much, Father. It's been good to see you.
It's been absolutely grand to see you, son.
With that, I say goodbye.
Goodbye.
So I leave and I head over to Baltimore and Sam and...
Sure.
Look, Siegfried's still here.
Uh-huh.
As he's like drenched.
Yeah. So I say Cass is in the south. She's at the edge where the forest meets the beaches. And she's with the panther. And they do have intentions of coming back. Well, Cass does. The panther, she's becoming one with her familiar. So we have an option. Well, options. We can go to Cass. How long would it take to get to Cass if we were
Couple hours.
to fly?
Oh, to fly?
Yeah.
Less than an hour.
Okay.
We'll just fly over there.
Just talk to her.
Yeah, gives them a little bit extra time. Then we can fly over and.
You want me to take all of us there, and then we can go to the Elven Kingdom?
Yeah, sure.
Can't you just use the tree walking and make a portal for us to go there?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that is true.
Although, isn't really. Well, I'm not sure.
You know of any trees over there?
Well, it
I
meets
mean,
at
you
the
said
beach.
she's in a forest.
It's where the forest meets the beaches. I think we came close to that, but we didn't go to that exact area.
Well, isn't it only like 500 feet either way?
That's if I were to walk them, like use Tree Stride. I could just fly there. It'd be
Yeah,
easier
we
to
just fly there.
So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna fly.
So, well, before you change, can you go tie Siegfried back up, please?
Oh, yes. I go tie him back.
Bye, Siegfried. Miss you.
What are you tying him with?
Oh, he didn't have anything he was tied up?
Straps are teared, broken.
Tell your dad to restrap him.
Where's the rope? Don't you have any rope? You're gonna keep this horse strapped up for however long? The horse has gotta be free.
I don't.
Spoken like a true druid. He's gotta be free.
Hey, Siegfried, are you gonna leave this area?
What does he say?
No. Sorry. I'm not supposed to be there.
Why? He feeds me and gives me free food.
Well, just tell your dad at least that the strap's broken.
Sure. So I go tell my father the strap is broken for the horse.
So like you knock on the door, he's like, "Oh, you're back, son."
Yes, the horse that you've been keeping over here,
Oh yeah.
the strap's broken. Do you think you could keep a watch of it, or
Sure.
tie it up?
Sure.
Okay. Thanks.
See, as he just kind of closes the door.
Yep.
Doesn't even.
Does he have those seeds in his hand? I swear. Oh, that's
I thought he said he took them.
He took 2 of them.
You
Yeah.
notice that there's only one sitting there now.
So.
You didn't see it.
Alright.
Walked into his house.
So I go and I'm like, okay, well, he said he'll take care of it.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye, Siegfried.
So
I dismiss Sapien.
okay, so you dismiss Sapien. You guys end up going over to. I'll just fast forward it. You guys fly over to Cass as you kind of descend upon this panther, just kind of running back and forth. And then as you guys get there, the panther just you see as it goes away.
Is she still there though?
Yeah, she's still there. And Cass just kind of, she's like, "Hey, I meant to try and get back to you, but she got scared and just wanted to."
That's fine.
What's up?
I'm still an eagle. I'm not changing.
Well, we're about to leave, so
Okay.
I don't know where we're going to. I cast tongues on you. Does that work?
Yeah. I can't. Why not?
Yeah, I mean.
So I say, you want to go to the Elven Kingdom? But everybody else is like, caw, caw, caw.
Jesus Christ.
No, I think tongues. Everybody can understand you. If I'm not mistaken, you
I
can.
think, oh yeah, because then I would be speaking common.
Yeah, you're fine.
So yes,
Any creature that knows at least one language
Yeah.
can hear the target and understand what it says.
Yeah, everybody understands you.
so I guess we go to the Elven Kingdom.
Okay.
That's where you want to go.
So,
right? I don't know.
And
why
Cass is
you
like,
wanna
"Wait,
go
why are we going to the Elven Kingdom?
I don't know. He's been asking about the Elven.
Do we want to go back to the mansion at all? Do we have to pay them or anything?"
They're good for
We're-
2 years.
Yeah, they're paid up for 2 years.
Okay.
But I mean, we're already here, so we could just swing up there, make sure that Atreus' family is okay since she's not directly with us.
Do we know where they're at?
They're not in the Elven Kingdom, right?
Northeast, yeah, they are.
Wait a minute. Do we know where the Elven Kingdom's at?
Tortola's near the Elven Kingdom?
No. Their family took refuge there.
Ah.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's northeast from where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the other side of the forest. Which is how far from where we are right now?
I mean, you can go all the way to the corner. I mean, from where you're at, it's a couple days. But the thing is, you were told that the Elven Kingdom specifically hides.
Yeah.
And it was also insinuated that the city moves.
Well, I didn't hear that part.
It was by his father.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was insinuated.
Yeah,
so
but I'm saying,
he knows that information
yes,
to
but
tell
I
you
don't know
if he
that.
so chooses.
And he hasn't told me.
I'm trying to help you.
I know.
So I look at him and I'm like, well, I mean, that's if they're there.
Care to elaborate?
Well, they tend to move around.
Okay.
They don't stay in one spot.
Well, I mean, we can head back to the mansion first and regroup and do whatever.
Should we send word to Rahun?
Why don't you scry on him?
Just because I can scry and see where he's at doesn't mean I'm not gonna send him a message like, hey, we're going back home. Like,
No, but you can scry on him to know if he's in danger in the forest or something.
this forest isn't a danger anymore.
Okay, Almighty One, where would you like to go?
Well, thank you. We can go back to the house.
Where are we
You want
going?
to tell Rahun?
All I'm saying is we should probably let him know.
Sure, how are we going to tell him?
Send Corvus.
Cass is like, yeah, I could. She's like, Corvus. Let me say as Corvus. Glides down.
I mean, he's an owl. It's not a homing pigeon, but he could send a message.
Yep, sure. I just wave my hands and I just take a couple steps back as Corvus flies down.
I'm like, Cass, would you be willing to attach a message to
Sure.
Corvus?
What are we? What message are we attaching?
We're gonna go back to the mansion.
Got your seeds.
We got your seeds.
Or got your tree ant army.
If
Hello.
you would like to join us, or if you are in danger, please respond.
Okay. ... Okay.
Excuse me, enemy, real quick. I have to answer back to this.
Love,
Yeah, while I'm getting my ass.
love, Emerald, Cass, Corvus, Baltimore, Sam. Roll it up. Tie it to Corvus. And I know I'm just
Essentially, how do you write that up as an eagle?
good point. So at this point, I'm shredding the parchment.
So I start writing it.
Thank
He
you.
like dips his talent in ink.
Yes.
He's like,
However,
Yeah.
so I
he like pulls out glasses. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, I've got glasses on.
so I just take the parchment, I pull out a quill, I start writing, but I write it in perfect Dwarvish.
Oh.
okay.
Have you read in Dwarven?
Yeah, that's what he said.
So how many of those words are not what you actually want them to say?
As many
It's right.
as many as he wants to, I guess.
I thought you weren't proficient in it yet. I thought you were still learning.
So I write it closely, and then like close to me as I'm writing it, and then I just roll it up.
Okay.
And I look at him and I say, "What did you say?"
Exactly what we just said.
Okay.
Okay. So you send this message, and it goes. See as she lifts off Corvus. Corvus goes, and she's just now looking back. So we're going back to the mansion.
Yeah, where's your panther?
Around. Still working on that.
Okay.
Well, make sure to tell your specters. Don't kill the cat.
So the mansion.
I guess.
All right. Are we ready to windwalk?
Yeah.
So I cue up the spell.
Okay.
I look at everyone. And I nod.
Okay. So you go back to your form before you cast this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Come on.
just double checking, making sure. All right. So because that's a wasted spell slot.
Yes, it is.
So you guys all take this gaseous form once again for at least those that are willing. I don't know if anybody's not willing, but for those that are willing, and you guys all cruise to the mansion. All right. So you guys up.
I'm gonna watch them float away. I'll be like, I'll see y'all in a minute.
So you either do it then or you don't do it at all.
I can teleport to the house at any point.
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right. That's fine. I'm
gonna teleport to Arcadia.
looks down at his claws when trying to
Okay.
cast.
So you're teleporting to Arcadia. What are you doing there?
I'm going to try and get some information on this elven city that Baltimore's been trying to look for.
Sure. Make a history check with disadvantage. Or make an intelligence check with disadvantage.
I mean, it's the same thing. 13 again.
No. What you keep getting is that out of respect for the race that is wanting to be held in hiding, they don't give out that information. Or it's not made to the public.
I'm gonna go to my master and see if he's ever been there.
Yeah, he responds. Yeah, he's been there.
Do you know? Could you give me the location?
I could, but what reason?
Well, this is a part of the journey that you have set me on. This is the next location that we have to go to. We had to go beat a chaotic evil deity that was corrupting a tree in a forest a pretty far distance from here, which we have done, and we have cleansed that forest of all evil. So this is the next part of our journey. We currently don't know where this is, but we are supposed to go here.
Okay. Well, I commend you. Taking on a evil deity is not something short of a miracle. But I can say with quite satisfaction that if you are able to do that, you should be able to gain entrance to the Elven Kingdom yourself.
This is not the same thing. This was something that we had to fight through a dungeon that we had a clear path to.
It is.
We have no information going on. We don't even know where it's located in the entirety of the world.
It is.
You've been there, but you can't give me like a roundabout location.
It is part of your journey. Thus, you must walk through it.
I'm gonna go to the library and start looking through books.
Okay. So you start looking through books.
I'm going to try to. Can I find a book on teleportation sigils?
Yes. You've already found one. Or you've found the majority of all of them.
So I want the forbidden section of the library.
It's not in the library. You know that the forbidden section is split into 4 parts, and each quarter is in each of the Archmage's private sanctum.
Alright, well then I will go to the librarian and I will ask her, just out of game, do we know what the name of the city is that we're going to?
Don't believe so.
Christ on a cracker. Alright, well then I'm going to do my own research while I'm here. I'm going to look to see if I can find any. I'm going to ask the librarian if she has any knowledge of gold dragons or anything of that sort. If there are any books in the library that can help me with this.
Oh yeah, she points you to a vast variety of books on gold dragons and what has said to be true, what has not said to be true.
Sorry, I got confused.
Yellow dragon, same thing, just basic knowledge that most people find out about it.
Alright, so I'm going to put up a poster asking for knowledge with a bounty of 500 gold on if somebody can come to me with knowledge of either an elven city that nobody knows about or the location, specifically the location of a yellow dragon. And I'm gonna post it in the library. I'm gonna post it all over Arcadia.
Okay, so you post a bunch of these posters on the community walls that you're allowed to post stuff on. And you just waiting there for somebody to come up to you, or?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go into the library, and I'm just gonna read books about previous mages or previous sorcerers and what they've been able to do with their powers.
Okay. So you guys get back to the mansion as you guys come in, and you see as the guard is on watch, doing their due diligence. You guys get in.
We come down to the front door, like past the guards, but like to the front door.
Okay.
And we all appear.
Sure. So you guys all appear. You walk in?
Yeah.
Sure. So you walk in. You see as everything seems to be in order. You see as Duena's cleaning. And she just kind of looks over. She goes, welcome back. Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
I'll be in before you walk in. I'll be in momentarily.
Okay.
And I'm not calling safety in, and I'm just gonna leave the compound and take a little stroll
Sure. Where?
into the woods.
Okay.
So I go and I ask for any updates from Duena. You know, how the house is going.
House is going good. We did have a small wolf problem, but they came to our walls and then left.
Okay. Do you know where Navarth is?
I believe she's in the barracks. I don't really keep tabs on her, but...
And the garden? The garden as well?
Yeah. Your girls have been taking care of that.
Have they been doing that well?
As far as I'm concerned, I haven't had any issues.
And the children?
Children are doing well. I believe they're in tutoring class right now.
Good.
What time of day is it?
Probably in the morning still. Midnight?
Probably like midday.
We slept at.
Yeah, we also windwalked. Okay.
Cheers.
So I go catch up with Navarth. Get any updates from her.
Rounds have been good, successful, no dwarven activity. We just had a weird night where we had some wolves around the compound, but...
Anything concerning about that? Why? Do we know why?
No, we just watched them as they just kind of circled the compound. That was it.
Okay. Alright. Okay, thank you very much.
Then they retreated back into the forest, but we didn't think much of it. I mean, we've seen animals come to the walls and leave prior, so.
But never like a pack like that before.
Not necessarily, no.
Does it seem organized?
Yes. But it is a wolf pack.
Fair. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go over to the garden. I'm assuming the girls are over there. Where are they?
One is. The other one's not.
So who's over there?
Lacey.
Was she the better of the two?
I don't know. You tell me.
Was she like the one that was like... One of them always is like she does what she's supposed to, and the other one's like...
Tracy's the
wild one? Okay, yeah. So I look over at Lacey and I say, do I see the garden is tended well?
Yeah.
Okay. So I ask her, and how have you been?
Well, and she kind of turns to you. She has the apron on. She's not wearing anything underneath besides like a nice little skirt.
Yes.
That goes down to her knee, and she just kind of turns to you. She goes,
"Hello.
Hi.
How's the garden and the chores and everything been?"
I think.
Yes, it looks well. Thank you very much. Where is your sister?
I don't know. She's been spending a lot of time with Leroy lately.
With Leroy?
Mm-hmm.
Is she being tutored?
No.
What has she been doing with Leroy?
Talks. They just have talks.
Where do they have these talks?
In the bedroom, the kitchen.
What? I'm sorry. What? Whose bedroom?
Or our bedroom.
Oh dear God. Okay. Okay. All right.
It's just talk. I mean, they've had talks in the kitchen with coffee.
Oh,
Or teeth.
All right. Yep. Nope. That's fine. I'm gonna assume the best. Continue what you were doing. It looks wonderful.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna go find the children.
Sure.
I go check on the children.
So you go find the children.
Are they being tutored?
Yeah, they're being tutored.
What's the tutor's name? What is her name? So I knock on the door.
Okay. So you knock on the door. You see as she opens the door, and she goes, "Why, hello. We're in the middle of social studies.
Yes.
What can I do for you?"
Dear, please remind me your name. Your name, please.
My name?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I missed that question. My name. Alright, I'll find this. Of course, now I can't remember.
Is it Natalie? I feel like it's Natalie.
Well, we'll just.
she says her name. We'll get it
She
later.
says her name. Yeah, I'll find it later.
Yep, that's fine. So, you said social studies, and that's what you're studying right now?
Yes.
And I get in closer and I see. So Leroy isn't listening. Or
Okay.
can't hear me. Where's Tracy?
I believe she's in the room.
Do you know about these talks
Talks.
between Leroy and Tracy?
I've seen them talking every now and then, yeah.
Do you know what they talk about?
Can't say that I do. I mainly just tutor, and then I spend my day teaching them various activities.
And are they doing well? Like, keeping
Yes, they're doing well. Leroy could use some focus, but his sister is very, very, very bright.
Good, good. Okay, I won't keep you. Carry on. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
You're happy with your compensation?
One could always ask for more.
Let's see about their test scores. Alright, so I go to the room.
Sure, so she closes the door. You go over to the room.
I walk into the room.
Sure.
I see Tracy.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
She's just like laying on the bed, and she's like rubbing the blanket.
God.
Is she hungover? So I say, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Are you? Does she look hungover? Do I have to insight? Should I insight?
Sure, insider.
7.
7?
Yes.
She's definitely looking odd.
So I say, how have you been?
Amazing.
What is she rubbing right now?
The bed.
Oh. What did you do last night?
Party?
With whom?
Myself?
Tell me about these talks with Leroy.
Oh, yeah. Talks. She kind of steps up.
So she looks woozy. Does she look like she's about to throw up?
One second.
Yeah, she's about to hurl.
You see as she kind of goes over to the side of the bed. You see as she kind of like reaches for the floor. She's like,
Are you kidding me right now?
you should try this. We grew it.
That's what you're growing in my garden? So I like smell it. What does it smell like to me?
It smells very potent
Bank?
Yeah.
Do I get a contact high?
Not at the moment, but if you stay in the room, you will.
Have you been helping with the chores?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I have helped clean. I've helped do the plants garden. I've done the garden. I have done a lot of philosophy with Leroy.
Yeah, what's that about?
He's got a lot of good questions about the world, and I've been helping him learn and grow.
And what exactly are you telling him about the world?
That it's big.
Uh-huh.
That it's big.
Please don't be a disturbance to Leroy and his studies. And mind you, he's still a child. And would you put the pipe down for a moment? So I take the pipe from her. It's the middle of the day. And you finish all of your chores for the day.
Yeah. Joanna drags me down. I can't.
No.
She's so... It's like she's got a stick up her butt.
I can remember a time where you might have enjoyed that, but...
Still enjoy it.
Okay, stop. Stop. Nope. Just for me, would you please, for the sake of me paying you to be here, literally to live here, just get your chores out of the way in the morning, and you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Is that agreeable?
Yeah.
Or do we need to rewrite your contract?
No. I think Leroy has a crush on his tutor.
On his tutor, does he? And how's that? Why's that?
He's just been asking me questions about women and
He's been asking you questions about women.
Yeah.
And what have you been telling him?
He's been asking, how does he know if a girl likes him?
Uh-huh. And your answer?
Well, there's been multiple answers. I mean, we've had multiple conversations, but...
Anything I should be concerned of? Alright, well, just mind you, again, he's a child.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally.
well, I'm gonna hold on to this for now.
Okay.
You should definitely go help your sister in the garden.
Okay.
Oh, those plants are starting to look a little...
Oh, yeah. I'll go help her.
So, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, I think that's... Oh, shit. So, you're at Arcadia looking up dragon stuff, or waiting for the bounty to kind of come forward with something.
That's correct.
Emerald, you're back at the estate. Cass, you see as she goes back to her owlry, enjoys her time there. Rahun is out doing something in the forest.
I don't know where.
And so I guess we will go ahead and stop there tonight. I did not realize what time it was. So, are you doing anything in the forest?
Yeah, actually, I was actually gonna go and head towards the try to find the wolf's den.
Okay. I mean, you know where it's at. So you find the cave.
So find the cave. I dismiss Sapien. I walk in.
Okay.
Is there any wolves inside? Any traces of them at all?
Oh, all over the place.
Like a recent?
Yeah. You can tell that they're not there, though.
So I'll just go to the very back of the den.
You notice that the den keeps going.
Okay. So then I'm not gonna go that far. So I'll just sit and I'll just wait for them to come back.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for next time you do that. So let's plan on that. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and stop there for tonight. Next week, Wednesday, it's 2 days after Memorial Day. I don't think that there's anything going on crazy. So we will be back here to provide that epicness and to see the next steps in where our heroes will go to next. So with that, we will see you next week here on Epic Interactions. You guys keep it as epic as possible. Have a good night.
Night.